Well, I'm back to talk a little more about this pimping game. I'm going to single out one guy and kind of tell you some things that happened, that I saw, that happened to me with him. Red Dog. I call Red Dog, this is my personal opinion, that he was one of the biggest players out there, because Red Dog, first of all, red was his color. We always made him a whole lot of red suits, red Eldorados. All he drove was red Eldorados. Red Dog. He got some other colors from it, but red was his color. We called him Red Dog. They could say he was from Ohio. And when I first met Red Dog and I got to know him a little closer, he approached me one time and said, "Hey man," he said, "you a young cat." He said, "let me make a player out of you." Now you gotta remember, I'm in my 20s, got a wife, I got a child. I didn't want to be, pimping wasn't my game, but he was gonna set me up. And that's when I found out more about him, how he did a lot of guys. Red Dog, you understand, will catch a young cat, halfway, good-looking guy. Red Dog was probably one of the prettiest players out there. He was a good-looking brother, fair skin, the whole nine, built. A lot of them players work out a lot, so they had nice bodies there. I found out later on that what he would do was he would get a young guy. Now, like I say, he got him a new Eldorado every year, red. Okay? He would get a young cat, always try and find one. If he didn't, we did the alterations on him. He would set the guy up with his last year's car. It was Eldorado, it wasn't but a year old. He'd give him a wardrobe to start with. And then he turned around and dropped 2 ladies on him to start his stable with. Now it was up to that guy to build the stable past the 2, but he got 2 good experienced ones to get the guy started in the game. Taught him all about the game, how you get the women, how you handle this, how you do this, how you do that. We're teaching young proteges the pimping game. Now, he didn't do that totally out of the kindness of his heart. This is what the deal was. You owed him a percentage of your take. Now, if you built your stable from the 2 he started you with, he got a percentage of that too. He didn't just get a percentage from the 2 he started you with. Them guys had 8 to 10 women in their stable. So if this guy got to 8 to 10 women in his stable, he got a percentage of that. And they didn't play back then. You would give him his money. And then the next year, he'd get another young cat and he groomed him to be a player. Gave him last year's Cadillac, which was a year old, because he was buying him a new one every single year. Okay? Gave him a wardrobe, gave him a couple of ladies. He was in business. And he was keeping book on these guys. I said, wow, not only is he pimping his women, he pimping this guy's women too. Now, I had never heard of that before. And I haven't heard of it since. But that's what they tell me, how he did that. And I know, sure enough, every year a new player came in with his old car. And if the suits didn't fit him quite well, we made him fit him. Okay? But he was a nice guy. I mean, deep down, he was just a nice guy. Later on in years, I know young cats from Ohio that knew him. I'm saying, wow, this is really, really interesting. Now, back in those days, they liked service. I'd always get a tip from these guys. $10, $20. The most I ever got was $20, you understand? Until Red Dog one day started a bonanza for me, because he asked me to bring some clothes to him over to the barber shop, which was only 2 blocks away. He was getting his hair done because them guys were processors back then, so he had to get his hair did. And I just delivered the clothes to the barbershop. I wasn't but 2 blocks away. Wasn't no big deal to me, because he was sitting under the dryer getting his hair done. And there were some new players in there that were new to the game, new to town and whatnot, because at that particular time, players were all over the world. They weren't just in New York. So every new player came in, they were automatically turned to Ori's Custom Tailoring. And he's sitting in a chair, and normally I would get $10, $20 tip from him. Breaks me off 100. I'm a young cat, you know. Nobody ever tipped me $100, and in those days that $100 was big. I said, okay, thank you. So I took the little 10 and went on about my business. Word got out. Oh, Red Dog got his own little personal tailor. In today's world, they call that a stylist. This was in the 60s, the middle 60s. But in today's world, they call it a stylist. Now, all of a sudden, the guys were in the bar down the street from where the tailor shop was. Another player, we had fixed a suit for him. He asked me, could I bring it down? I didn't go but 4 doors down to the Lucky Spot. That was the name of the bar. Everybody ate there, all right? He's sitting there with some guys in there, new guys. He turned them on to us. I bring the suit down there. He break me off 100. Now, why did he break me off 100 also? Because word got out that Red Dog broke the brother off 100. Now, he couldn't come up short. He couldn't give me $20. You understand what I'm saying? So now this is happening everywhere. Guys would be in their cars with a whole lot of other guys just riding around Harlem. Guy would ask me to come bring the suit out of the store to the car. $100. I said, whoa, $100. So now all of a sudden, that's my regular fee. So everybody knew you couldn't give Jim less than $100 tip. Oh, so now what do? The new guys now, who we started doing business with, who we also made their suits, all the players now, they would call up. First of all, they would come in, you know, get measured up. We got them on file, this, that, and that. They'd order what they want. Well, if they couldn't make it back to the tailor shop, they'd call and ask for me, Jim, can you bring my suits, or however many they had, to whatever address? I'd jump in a cab. They paid the cab fare. But I told them up front, it's going to cost you $100. So if you guys are going to use me to do this, now this becomes what? My service fee. That's the American way. They hustlers, they players, they do what they do. I could care less. But now all of a sudden, there's a fight. Red Dog tells me, look, I want you to come to Vegas with me. Now, I didn't go, you understand? But they always wanted me to come. This is what the standard was in those days. Wherever they were, because all they're doing is fronting me like I'm their personal tailor. The guy's got more than just one tailor. But from Ori's Custom Tailoring, I was their man. Now, they would always make sure, they tell me up front, got a plane ticket for you, got hotel reservation, put $500 in my pocket. Now, you got to remember, I'm not 25 years old yet. But in today's world, like I say, that's what they call a stylist, who travels with whoever it is, making sure their clothes are right. Now, I didn't have to make sure that they fit right. It's just so they can front me in front of new people and other people. Well, who's that brother over there? Oh, that's my tailor. He goes everywhere I go. Now, I didn't go everywhere they went, but when they went to them big time events, rest assured, they wanted me there with them. Now, in the city, oh, I'd go to them. Oh, I done been to parties with these boys. I done been to dinner with them. I've been all over with them because it was always on them. And all they want to do is saying, this is my man Jim, he's my personal tailor. And that's how I made my little side hustle back then. Getting my little tip and smiling. And every time I go home with them tips, I give it to my wife, Barbara Jean. And I tell her about the story. And she was just flabbergasted about this. I said, wow, what a world we live in. What they did, that was their business. Our job was to make their clothes and make them look good. So that's how it was in Harlem in those days, in the 60s. So here's that brother from Harlem signing off. I'll be back with something else good to tell you. So y'all just stay tuned to my channel, The Brother from Harlem with the high school education.